Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I want to do something slightly different. I actually want to go over all the limited time modes that we've seen from Season 0 and Season 1 of Rogue Company and kind of give them a bit of a rating, like a tier list essentially, of all the limited time modes that we've seen. Because I think next season, with King of the Hill being the premier game mode for the LTMs, they're starting in such a great direction. We also have leaks for things like TDM and Capture the Flag. So I'm so excited, but I also wanted to reminisce on some of the other game modes that we've had so far. Please guys in the comments let me know your favorite game mode, and if you do go on to enjoy, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. For now though, let's get into it. So before we jump into all of the limited time modes, I want to explain what my ranking system is. I'm going to go from S all the way down to D tier. The S tier game modes are going to be game modes that I think should actually be permanent modes that should be completely within the roster of Rogue Company, along with Demolition and Strikeout. I did leave out Extraction. Extraction maybe needs to hit the boot, I'm not going to lie, for one of these other modes. But S tier are going to be your top dogs that probably should be full game modes. A tier are going to be your solid LTMs, ones that you want to see in rotation all the time, ones that you're excited about when they come in, and just game modes that really offer something different, offer a different angle, different metas, different interesting points of views, and really do fit that LTM status. B tier are going to be game modes that you may jump on occasionally, but you're going to pretty much stick to your main game modes. Other than that, you may just do it for a little bit of variety or fun here or there. C tier are going to be the game modes that you kind of only really go on if you're really bored. They're game modes that are not really that enjoyable, but a little flavor every once in a while might be okay. And then D tier are going to be the ones that I think are just never worth playing, that are just not good game modes, do not fit the bill of Rogue Company, and probably shouldn't come back. I'm going to talk first about all the Wingman variants. This is things like Wingman, Wingman Strikeout, Wingman Trios, Trios Demolition, Trios Strikeout, all the different variations that we have. I'm going to talk about them first. The traditional one life Wingman I think is absolutely an S tier game mode. I think this should be permanent. I think this offers so much for a 2v2 sort of variation of the game. I think it's tactical. I think it's well paced. I think it's well balanced. I think it's a lot of fun to get a buddy and test yourself against another 2-stack. This is a fantastic mode. And is absolutely, in my eyes, should be a permanent game mode and therefore is S tier. Wingman Strikeout, obviously only a very slight variation, but doesn't quite hit the bill for me. I don't enjoy the pacing of it as much. I don't like the fact that there's not as much weight to it as there is with something like the traditional Wingman. Therefore, this gets a B for me. It's just a game mode that I may jump on occasionally if it's there, but not one I'm going to focus on. I'd rather play traditional Strikeout where there's just more people and more kills to get. Wingman Trios is up next, and this one just doesn't quite hit the mark for me. I do like the idea that there's a few more people on these smaller maps, but for me personally, I just don't think it has the same intensity. You can't really con with your teammates as well because it's not like a direct link. It just loses some of that for me that the traditional Wingman has. Therefore, I'm going to put it in a B, as I'll play it if it's there. Trios Demolition. This is an interesting one because it incorporates the more demolition bomb plant style to these skirmish maps. Personally, I just didn't like the way it really felt. I still felt like it was just playing Wingman Trios nonetheless, rather than the demolition mode itself, and so I just didn't enjoy it as much. There wasn't really as much tactical elements as you'd hope there might be, so it's going to get a C tier for me. We then have Trios Strikeout, which again is on these smaller skirmish maps, and again just doesn't quite fit the bill for me 100%. It's sort of interesting because there's more people to kill on the smaller maps, which is kind of nice, but again just isn't that good compared to some of the other game modes that we have on this list, so it's going to fall also in that C tier. Next up, we're going to talk about Assault, and Assault is actually, for me, the perfect blend of Demolition and Strikeout, and actually is probably what Extraction should have been. The Assault game mode is all about the attacking team trying to plant and detonate the bomb, the defending team trying to stop them, but both teams actually have a ticket of lives that they can run down as well. So you kind of get this back and forth of, hey, we're trying to kill you and stop you, but we're also there trying to plant the bombs. So there's objective and the element of kill sprees going on. It is a little bit more attacking sided just because of the way that respawn works with the bomb, and it is a little bit, there's a little bit of imbalance there, but I do think it's a really solid mode and a really fun mode, and honestly the perfect balance between Strikeout and Demolition. So I'm going to put it up as an A tier, as a solid LTM. I do enjoy having it in rotation. Arms Race is up next, and I'm going to be honest, I do not like this mode at all, which I know a lot of you really do. This is the game mode where it's essentially kind of like Strikeout, except you also have weapons all over the floor. You start with your base pistol as the rogue you choose, and then you pick up weapons. The most interesting element of this game mode for me is actually the power weapons, so the tier that one-shots and Dima's Merv launcher, which you can pick up. I really like that element. I feel like if they flushed that out a little bit more, made it a bit more interesting, kind of like a Halo sort of mode, I guess, I would really enjoy it. But I don't like the idea that I'm going in there and just kind of picking up weapons, and it just doesn't, the flow isn't as good for me. It's kind of predictable, gets kind of samey, and for me, I'm actually going to put this one in the D tier as a game that I really never play, and I really don't think I ever will, unless it gets some drastic changes. Countdown is up next, and this one's really interesting because it was one of the most fleshed out when it came to live servers. It felt like a really good, solid, well thought out game mode, as opposed to some of the more gimmicky variations that we've had before. I really like this one. Essentially what it was is there's a neutral bomb in the middle that both teams fight over. The more time you hold the bomb, the quicker you get to winning, and essentially it's whoever holds the bomb the longest will be the winner. This offered a lot of great tactical elements for me that I really enjoyed. I like the idea that you're trying to set up a defense, then trying to set up an attack to breach and get the bomb, and it felt really, really nice on these smaller skirmish maps, and I did enjoy it a lot. So I hope it does come back, and I'm going to rate it as A tier, as a solid LTM in the game mode. Dodgeball is up next, and it's one of the most recent game modes to come into the Rogue Company scene, and it's essentially like a one life Wingman 4v4, which is really interesting. And then, I'm sure you know, when you kill an enemy, your teammate respawns, and then your goal is to wipe out the entire enemy team with your team up. And it's very, very interesting. I do like the element. I like the kind of the direction they went with it. It's not necessarily the most interesting for me after a couple games, so it is going to fall into the B tier as one I'll play occasionally, but I'm not looking to really sweat out on it. It's not the most interesting game mode compared to some of these other ones that feel a little bit more fleshed out, but it is good nonetheless for a little bit of fun. Hardcore Demolition is what comes up next, and this one I think was a great concept. Essentially what the Hardcore Demolition game mode was standard demolition, but with no health regen. And that's really, really interesting as a concept. It makes it kind of Valorant CSGO-like with that permanent health. Although rogues who do have stims and Chark who can overheal, or people with life drain really kind of were dominant in this mode, which made it a little bit less balanced, but I do love the concept of it at the very least. I didn't get a lot of chance to play this because it has only come up once, and I think I was pretty busy that weekend, but I would love for it to come back. For me at the moment, it's rating as a B tier, as one I'll play if it's there, but that could be pushed up to A tier if it does feel fleshed out when I get my hands on it a little bit more. King of the Hill is next on the list, and of course we don't technically have this one on live servers right now, and it is a Season 2 game mode, but I can't not talk about this game mode. It was the most fun game mode I have played since going into Rogue Company, other than say standard demolition, ranked strikeout and things. King of the Hill just felt so polished, so well done, and is absolutely an S tier game mode for me. I want to see it in permanent rotation. I want to see it in a ranked rotation. I think it was absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait for all you guys to see it in Season 2 as well. It's actually one of the things I'm most excited about. Sabotage is up next, and this is one of the more fun modes that I've played as well. Essentially what this game mode was there was a neutral bomb in the center of the map, and both teams had to race towards it and get it to the other team's spawn to plant and detonate it. When you planted it, it went off instantly, and that was the round one. There were lives as well, so you had that kind of kill pressure. But what it really turned into, and why I think I found it so enjoyable, was it was this essential like race for who could get the bomb down the quickest. And we ended up having like a bunch of races sort of across the community where people were trying to get the game done in under 5 minutes, under 4 minutes, under 3 minutes. And it was just a really, really good time. For me, this had a lot of tactical elements and a lot of just fun kill pressure as well. This is going to be rated as an A tier, as a game mode that I love to see when it comes up, and I look forward to playing again. Last but certainly not least is going to be Sniper Strikeout. If you have not been with the game for a very long time, you would have never heard of this game mode. Essentially, this was Strikeout, but with snipers only. The one caveat to this game mode was that people used pistols and melees a little bit too much, but the pure sniper element of it was so much fun. I'm so sad we've only had this twice in rotation, because it is one of the most fun. Doing Lancer, doing Dahlia Link with Lancer, and roll reloading on some of these snipers meant for you got some amazing clips. I had some great moments and a lot of fun, and this for me is an A tier game mode I really, really, really want to see back in rotation. Alright guys, they are all of the limited time modes that have been in Rogue Company so far and my rating of them, but of course I want you to share your thoughts on them down in the comments below, so please leave a comment, let me know your favorites, let me know your least favorites, and we can discuss about how we feel about the limited time modes and the ones that will be coming in Season 2 as well. Alright then guys, that takes us to the end of the video, and if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RADTHARGAMING to see live gameplay commentaries, guides, Q&As, and playing with viewers. All the links you're going to need are down in the description below, but for now, I hope you have a fantastic day. And remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll catch you in the next video.